It is my honor to introduce a man of this very soil, a man of the people. He was instrumental in the creation of the Linden Drum Corps, the leader of the People's National Congress Reform, PNCR, and the newly elected leader of the opposition. He is none other than Mr. Aubrey C. Norton, Minister of Parliament. Help me welcome him.
Good evening, all. Young masters of ceremonies, it's a special pleasure to be managed by you. I always believe a society is teemed with potential when its youth stands out. The Minister of Labour, I would still say friend and former colleague in the PNC, Mr. Joseph Hamilton. The Chairman, Region 10, Mayor, Deputy Mayor, visiting mayors and deputy mayors, all present. It's always an especial pleasure for me to be at home. I born here, I grew up here, and though I move physically, I visit regularly, and I'm spiritually in Linden all the time. I want to start by commending your team. Together we build. But I want to say to you, when you're going to build, you must have a vision. And it is the vision for Linden and Region 10 that matters. I listened with keen intent to the minister suggesting that we forget the past. He who forgets the past will make the same mistakes again. And therefore, I want to urge you not to live in the past, but understand the past so that it informs your future and you don't make the mistakes that were made in the past. As we look towards a vision for Linden and Region 10, we must look towards building sustainable communities. We must look towards building communities that are producing their own food. Communities with high levels of education. Communities with proper health and not an unhealthy person seeking to fire health workers. We have to have a clear vision. But you know, when I heard Mr. Frederick's name, I reflected on what originally Tongue Week was intended to be. And while I believe that it's a good thing to have a lot of entertainment, we must remember that the intention was to promote, first to preserve and promote our culture. And I would like to see very much more craft and products out of Linden being advertised and sold during Tongue Week. That for me is critical. I don't want us to forget the past. So I want to say to the Tongue Week Committee that you should look towards building a hall for distinguished personalities in Linden. Let us recall that Linden produced some of the most distinguished sons, but a child cannot go to one place and look at their photographs, read under their names who they are or were. Linden produced the McIntyre brother and sister who swam us to victory. We produced Vincent Adams in cricket. Many of you will remember Zipper Johnson, one of the best footballers the country produced. And I could go on and on. Horace Benjamin, who was a national junior table tennis champ. And Linden has shown talent. And therefore I want to urge the government to continue to do the athletics stadium over the river, because if you believe in Linden and you think Linden talent is good talent, then you should do the honorable thing and ensure it is completed. Then you will show an interest in Linden. And if perchance you have an interest in Linden, and we're talking about a Linden to Maburu Road, then put back into the budget the bridge that the APNU AFC had built. That will be a manifestation of the government's interest in Linden and Region 10. It is one thing to bring handouts, and I say to people, take it. But when the time comes, look to see who gave you development. Because development is what matters. I want to urge that as we look forward, we look towards the creation of micro and small businesses that will allow Linden to be sustainable. The promotion of business matters. And if you're serious about Region 10 and Linden, I say to you, when contracts are given in Linden, they should be given in the main to Lindeners. You cannot tell me you love Linden, you cannot tell me you love Region 10, and 70% of the contracts go out of the region. I will take you as serious when we begin to address these issues. While it is good for us to be entertained, while it is good to talk about the return of football where a few will benefit, we want to see more meaningful development. We want to see programs and projects that will allow the people of Linden and Region 10 to become independent and move forward. In this regard, therefore, I want to say to you as Lindeners, the APNUFC government again will put a university in Linden. We believe that Lindeners spend too much money to go to town to get their education. And so we believe that the time is nigh when Linden must get a university, or at least a branch of the University of Guyana. You know, it is one thing to talk about bauxite. I heard the Honorable Minister saying, mining is coming again. I want to say this. As mining comes, mining must come also in the context of the environment. I want to say to you that we need, as people mine, before they depart, they should reclaim the land. There are too many holes in Linden. If reclaimed, will become lands that the people of Linden can use. So we would like to see a program in which the lands having been mined out are reclaimed and put in service of the people of Linden. This is a social event. And so, while I raise those concerns, I want you to enjoy the evening. I will come back for the political ones. But I want you to have a good time socially, but stay focused on this vision of building a sustainable Region 10, a sustainable Linden. I believe if we can do that, the people of Linden will be happy. And what I pursue is the happiness of the people of Linden. 52 years really is a short time in history. But it is a time that we must pay careful attention to. Let us recall it was Wismar, Christianburg, and Mackenzie. And in that era there were a lot of divisions. One of the things that Linden did, in the name of its founder, Linden Forbes Sampson Burnham, is to bring the people of Wismar, Christianburg, and Mackenzie together. And so he had foresight. He knew together we build. And as we look to build into the future, let us build on the successes we have achieved based on a clear vision a clear plan, and I reassure you that Linden will be exceptional. And to close by promising you, on returning to government, Linden will be the top priority. Thank you.